acknowledge all the hard work that Joe, Jeff, Reggie, you guys have all put in for putting this together. So just thank you. It is very high potency. It is super, super clean. It's been tested for mold, heavy metals, pesticides. You can try it out. It absorbs very nicely into the skin. You can apply it to wherever you're hurting. But that's not me. It's not really even one of our farmers. It's just a stock photo. But we have a hemp farm. We have hemp farms actually in Oregon and Washington State. We started about 2 years ago, and essentially 3 military families got together, and we decided that this is the right thing to do, because when I deployed to Afghanistan in 2011, we took care of a tremendous number of traumatic injuries, gunshot wounds, IED blast injuries, and it was we did the best we could. At the time we put them on opiates and benzos, muscle relaxants, antidepressants, and essentially turned these soldiers into zombies. And over the years, a lot of these soldiers who became friends of mine came back to me and said, "Hey, CBD got me off of my opiates. CBD got me off of my muscle relaxants." And so when the Farm Bill passed, we decided to just do it. And so we did our farming operations last year. We did a little over 220 acres. And this year we're looking to do the project again with a little more formality. So we're establishing a proper company, and we're creating a project out of it. So it's a $3.3 million project. That money goes to essentially leasing the farmland, buying the seed, doing all the work. We have, so you can skip to the next slide. Thank you. We're calling it Shades of Green because we're military families. Private equity group will fund operations for cut and dry, which is the operational element. Will operate the lease-based premises to grow, harvest, and dry industrial hemp under the provisions of Oregon and Washington State Department of Agriculture. So we intend to produce about 450,000 pounds of biomass. Those of you that have followed the CBD market this past year know that it's been very volatile. It's been selling for anywhere between $1 to $1.50 per percentage point per pound. So using that data from this past year, we estimate that we should be able to generate somewhere on the order of about $4.5 million off of this year's harvest. After covering operational expenses, that should yield a profit of about $3 million. Of that $3 million, half of it comes back to the operating group, half of it goes to the investors. So we've kept it like stupid simple, because I like stupid simple. I work in the ER. And you can go to the next one. Like I said, these are 3 military families. That's me with my wife and kids, and these 2 serial killer looking guys are my partners. They're great guys. That's Matt. He's an amazing farmer. He's a PA actually from the Navy. He treated combat injuries in Iraq and Afghanistan and decided he wanted to go into farming in 2011. So he's been farming for many years. He's been doing hemp specifically for 4 years. So he's a tremendous resource. And Jeremy is a lawyer and a troublemaker. He's our fixer. So he takes care of all the problems. And we can move to the next. And of course, my darling wife takes care of all the numbers and the math. She works for KPMG. And our farm, it's actually located within Oregon and Washington. We split up the farm because last year we found that because of the weather volatility, keeping all your eggs in one area is dangerous. A lot of farms last year were subjected to hail, early frost, and so we decided to split up our farming operations a little bit and distribute the risk. So we'll be doing approximately 300 acres this year. We've already established water rights. We've already tested the soil, tested the water. There's no contaminants, no pesticides, no heavy metals. The land is super, super clean. It's exactly what we want. Next. This is from early last year when we were planting. We use a lot of heavy machinery and major agricultural practices typically used for other farming industries. And so by doing that, we minimize our labor costs. So we've cut our labor costs down very, very low, and that's how we grow so efficiently. So that's how I know, even if we're selling at $1 per point per pound, we will still make a tremendous amount of money because our costs are less than a third of that. The land itself previously has been used for hemp as well as a variety of grasses. It's already clean. We're using pivots. The farming equipment is already there. It's already acquired. Next. This is a shot of about 100 or so acres of hemp. It's beautiful. It's green. That is our farm from last year. So very, very basic ABCs. 1 acre, usually you could plant about 2,000 plants on it. 1 plant will give you somewhere between half a pound and 2 to 3 pounds of CBD biomass. It takes about 42.5 pounds of hemp biomass to produce 1 kilo of CBD isolate or distillate. And then, like I talked about, it's going to sell anywhere from $1 to $1.50 per point per pound as bulk sale. But if we turn it into end product, we can make potentially twice or thrice that. That's essentially how the math works. And that cream is just a small sample of what we're intending to put together. We are going to get crop insurance, and we're very excited about that. A lot of people last year were killed because they didn't have crop insurance. So federal crop insurance, I think, is already available, so we'll be procuring that. Project timeline, February 2020, secure seeds. We've already done that. This next month, we will execute our lease, all the agreements. We will hopefully fill our intended $3.3 million. We'll finish field prepping, and then we'll plant. And then September timeframe, we will harvest. And then right after, we will probably have a big hemp festival. You guys are all invited in Oregon at the farm. So it'll be a good time to celebrate. And this is just really the very, very basics. So for an investment of $100,000, our investor will purchase units that will hold basically what translates into 1.515% of the company. Okay, move on to the next. So essentially, we intend to generate a profit of a little over $3 million in year 1. That means for a $100,000 investment, year 1 will get you about $50,000 back. In year 2, based on our projections, you'll see, next one, 65. Oh, no, that's good. In year 2, we expect a 65% return. And year 3, 79%, roughly 80% return. So by the end of year 2, you're already up 15% of your initial investment. By the end of year 3, you will have doubled your investment, and you retain ownership of that percentage. So if we ever sell or go public, you still own part of the pie. And I think, how much time do I have left?
1 minute.
1 minute, okay. These are our products. We have created gumdrops, pet chews, CBD, full distillate pills, a face mask, which my wife loves, it's beautiful, and the sports cream, which I've passed around. Um, these are disclosures. My legal team told me to show it to you. But if any of you guys want a full formal presentation of the investment, just email me or call me. I'll leave my cards here for anybody that needs them. And with that, I will take your questions. Yes?
So for your, so you've already secured the seed for this year's planting. So do you plan to use some of what you grow to be the seed for next year, or do you plan to buy the seed fresh?
So that's a great question. So we purchased feminized F2 genetic autoflower seed. So just let me unpack. So all of the plants that we grow basically are clones.
Okay, got
They're
it.
feminized clones, and so they won't generate seed.
Okay.
They're stabilized genetics, so we know that they will give us a consistent result. They're autoflower, so we know that approximately 80 days after we plant the starts, that we will be able to harvest.
Yeah. Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I see you're growing outdoors, which is great. Do you control for males in the field, or you?
We do.
You do.
We do. So we have a whole. There's a whole farming team actually, and they're on a schedule on every few days to walk the fields and pick out the males, essentially uproot them and destroy them. The male plants look different, and it sounds silly, but they have like little balls when they're young, and you learn the weirdest things. And so.
You're not close enough to anyone else that you would get pollinated by there.
Correct. We don't have any hemp farms within a 10-mile radius of us, so we shouldn't have any problem with pollination or drift. But good question. What else? Yes, sir.
How would you control pesticide, or how do you control the quality of pesticide that would come onto a plant? So
We don't use pesticides. We grow organic. All of this is organic. It's USDA certified organic, and that's why we can demand a premium for our biomass, and that's why when other people have struggled to sell their biomass, we're actually
going to
doing it.
extract, or are you going to sell the hemp flowers?
We will probably sell a percentage of the biomass. We may sell like a third of it, and we would like to extract maybe 2/3 of it. We want to do a hybrid model just to get some money back quickly, and then the rest of it we can extract because it's a lot more money in extraction.
The investment is strictly for this maple lotus line, or is it for the whole farm,
Everything.
everything?
Yeah, for the festival, for everything. Yes.
Can you speak to your organic cultivation practices?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not a farmer. I'm a doctor. But I know that we do not use any pesticides. I know that they use a combination of biome engineering. So they use different types of bugs and worms to control other pests. And they have some non-pesticide type sprays. So it's sort of proprietary, the stuff we use, but it's all safe and natural and organic.